Welcome back to Holder Flat. It's time to close out round 7 of the RSA's NI Winter Series. This is day 2 at Shackleton for the rally cars. The 83 entrants on this day were greeted with beautiful late winter sunshine, and this put everyone in great form. And the 83 entries consisted of 6 juniors, a whole host of modifieds, and 5 R5 and Rally 2 cars, including the 4-time Irish Tarmac Rally champion Eugene Donnelly. So it seemed everything was in check, including the weather, for a fantastic day's rallying. So it's time to get to the action. And the fastest car over that opening stage, and already with a 7.5 second advantage, is Daniel Docherty in the GDC Property Developers Fiesta R5. It's the Fiesta Rally 2 of Michael McCollum who sets the second fastest time at 3:55.9. Just 3.5 seconds further back and putting his brand new Millington Series 2 Plus to good use is Eugene Clark. Aaron McLaughlin is in 4th place, 14.5 seconds slower than Docherty here, but this is due to an uncharacteristic mistake of turning right at a junction instead of left. 5th fastest overall and second two-wheel drive car over the opener is Aaron Beattie's Mark II Escort. He's just 1.4 seconds behind McLaughlin and 15.9 off the leader Docherty. Just 1.2 seconds further back and 6th fastest is Pete Dornan in his rapid little Peugeot 206. Now let's look in depth into the class runners over the first stage. And the quickest of our junior runners over the first stage is Rhys McElhinney in his little Peugeot 107. He leads the class by 1.2 seconds. Second fastest is the Micra of Jake Miller. And just 1.7 seconds behind Miller and 2.9 off leader McElhinney is Caelan Lancashire in 3rd. Class 2 and Aaron McMullen sets the early pace to lead by 4.4 seconds. Liam Wilson is second fastest with a 4:46.0. And 3rd fastest and making it 3 Fiestas in the top 3 is Jack McDermott. He's just 0.3 of a second further back in 3rd. Class 3, it's the Corsa B of Stephen Caldwell who takes the early lead. Just half a second slower is the Nova of Graham Murphy. And 3rd fastest is Adam Docherty in the Micra. He's 13.4 seconds off leader Caldwell. Class 4 and Danny Reid has a 4.1 second advantage after the first stage. Donegal's Keelan Reid giving chase in second place in Class 4. And Gerald Gibson's Mini is third fastest. As seen from the overall result, Pete Dornan in the 206 is absolutely flying and he leads Class 5. 3.4 seconds further back is the Mini of Stephen Smith. And Shay Rogers is third fastest, he's 5.8 seconds off the class leader. Aaron Beattie has a 4-second advantage in Class 6 over the first stage. It's Draperstown's Josh Bradley in second. And it's Mark II Escort domination as usual in Class 6 as Jordan Williamson is third fastest. On to Class 7 then for the up to 2.1 16 valve cars. And it's Ryan Hunter's Red Top Fiesta that leads the way. Just 3.2 seconds behind Hunter, and all the way from the Isle of Skye is Duncan MacDonald. Just 2 seconds further back in third place is Damien Quinn. Class 9, and as we've seen from the overalls, it's the beautiful Mark II Escort of Eugene Clark leading the way. Philip Greenlee is second fastest and getting some testing in before a trip to Spain. And Harry Johnson's E30 BMW is a further 7 seconds back in third. In Class 10 for the turbo cars, Tommy Scally's little Renault 5 Turbo leads the way. Gary Grant is 6.3 seconds slower to go second fastest. And just 2.2 seconds off Grant is Aaron Faulkner in another Impreza. And finally, Class 11 for the big boys and the big toys. Daniel Doherty leads the way. 7.5 seconds further back is Michael McCollum in that Rally 2 Fiesta. And the WRC Fiesta of Aaron McLaughlin in third, who'll be looking to make up some time. Daniel Doherty is still leading the rally. He wins stage 1, stage 2, but he's only second fastest here on stage 3. It's Aaron McLaughlin who's fastest over stage 3, but once again he goes to turn right at this junction instead of turning left. He's 1.7 seconds faster than Doherty in here, and the lead gap is now 18.9. Michael McCollum has now slipped to third place overall, and he's 24.6 seconds off the leader. He's 5.7 seconds off second place McLaughlin. Fourth place and still the fastest of our two-wheel drive cars is Eugene Clark. He's 10.5 seconds behind McCollum and 35.1 off the rally lead. Aaron Beattie is still 5th overall and still on a big push. He's just 6.8 seconds off Clark. And even more impressive, he's just 0.1 of a second slower than Clark here on stage 3. And Pete Dornan is still impressing in 6th overall in the CashForCarsNI.com Peugeot 206. He's just 4.4 seconds behind Beattie and 46.3 off the lead. Let's see how the classes are sitting after stage 3. In the juniors, Rhys McElhinney still leads, but he's losing time here on stage 3 to his rivals. Jake Miller is now just 1.4 seconds back in second. And Keelan Lancashire is still in third place. He matches Miller's time on stage 2 and is just 0.1 of a second slower on stage 3. On to class 2, and Aaron McMullen now has a healthy 14.1 second lead. It's Ed Davis who has now climbed up to second place. And Jack McDermott is just a further 4.3 seconds back to hold third in class. In class 3, Stephen Caldwell still leads. Graham Murphy sits second, loses some time here in stage 3 and is now 7.5 seconds back. And Adam Doherty still holds third. Class 4, and Keelan Reid now has a comfortable lead. Danny Reid hits trouble here in stage 2 but is still holding second. And it's only just as Gerald Gibson is just 0.8 of a second back in third. On to class 5, and Pete Dornan still leads the class but loses time to Stephen Smith here. Smith is the fastest of our class 5 runners here on stage 3 and is now 5.6 off Dornan. And Liam McMillan is now up to third in class, just 9.9 seconds behind second place Stephen Smith. In class 6, Aaron Beattie completes a trio of stage wins to lead by 9.2 seconds. Josh Bradley just can't match Beattie's pace, but sits comfortably in second place. And Jordan Williamson still holds third place in class, but is coming under increasing pressure from Gavin Grant. Ryan Hunter still leads class 7 in the Fiesta. But Duncan MacDonald takes 2.3 seconds out of him here on stage 3 to close the gap to 2.9 seconds. And Damien Quinn is still holding on to that third spot. Class 9 Eugene Clark has this new engine absolutely singing, and he still leads the class. Philip Greenley is still going well in second spot. And Harry Johnson still holds third place but loses time to the chasing Conor Gillespie here on stage 3. In Class 10, Thomas Scally has now stretched his class lead out to 10.6 seconds. Gary Grant still holds second place. And Aaron Faulkner seems to be having some issues with his Impreza, but still holds third. And in Class 11, as we've seen from the overall results, Daniel Docherty still leads, with Aaron McLaughlin beginning to close down the leader. He's in second. And Michael McCollum holds third in class. By stage 5, Daniel Docherty still leads in the R5 Fiesta, but his lead has been slashed to just 5.7 seconds. Aaron McLaughlin must have the WRC car turned up to 11, and he's mounting a serious attack to take back that time lost earlier in the morning. The McGeehan Motorsport prepped Rally 2 Fiesta of Michael McCollum still sits in third place, 35.8 off leader Doherty. Eugene Clark still maintains fourth place and top two-wheel drive honours. He's 13.6 seconds behind McCollum. Pete Dornan now finds himself in 5th place overall after Aaron Beattie hit trouble on stage 4. He's 18.2 seconds behind Clark and a minute and 7 off the rally leader. And now in 6th place overall we have Eugene Donnelly in the MRF tyres backed Proton Iris R5. Eugene has his son Dermot sitting beside him for the first time today. So let's take one final look at the class positions before we head towards the final results. And Rhys McElhinney is still leading the juniors. In fact, he's taken 4 of the 5 stage wins so far. Jake Miller is still in 2nd place. He's 4.9 seconds off McElhinney and having a great scrap with 3rd place Caelan Lancashire. Caelan sits just 3.4 seconds back off Miller. In Class 2, Aaron McMullen still leads and now has a 20.7 second lead. Ed Davis sits in 2nd place in Class 2. Whilst Liam Wilson has now moved up to 3rd place. In Class 3, Stephen Caldwell still leads in the Corsa and now has a 20.4 second lead. Graham Murphy still sits in 2nd place and can't quite match Caldwell's pace. And Adam Doherty is the best of the rest in Class 3 and 3rd. In Class 4 it's plain sailing for Keelan Reid at the front. And Gerald Gibson is now up to 2nd place. After Danny Reid's Nova hit trouble again here on stage 5. Class 5 and Pete Dornan leads the way. Stephen Smith isn't quite on his normal pace and seems to have some sort of misfire, but he's still 2nd in class. And Shay Rogers is now back up to 3rd place in class, but he's just 0.2 of a second ahead of Liam McMullen's 208 R2. In Class 6, Josh Bradley has now inherited the lead of the class after Aaron Beattie hit trouble on stage 4. And Gavin Grant, who was battling for 3rd place, now finds himself 2nd, but he's just 0.2 of a second ahead of Jordan Williamson. This will go right down to the wire. And it's going right down to the wire also in Class 7 as Duncan MacDonald has now taken the class lead. But Ryan Hunter is just 0.2 of a second back. There can be no slip-ups here. And Damien Quinn seems to be comfortable enough in 3rd place. Eugene Clark still the fastest 2-wheel drive car out there and heads Class 9. Philip Greenlee is still 2nd in class, but now 48.7 seconds off Clark. And the loss of Harry Johnson sees the promotion of Conor Gillespie's E90 BMW. Class 10 and Thomas Scally still leads in the little Renault 5 GT Turbo. Gary Granson Pretza is in second place still and 7.8 seconds back. And it's the wonderful little Clio of Jared Sharkey who's now up to third in Class 10. And in Class 11 it's just as they are at the front of the field. Doherty leads McLaughlin. From McCollum.
What goes around comes back around. What goes around comes back around. What goes around comes back around. Comes back around. Comes back around. What goes around comes back around. Comes back around. Comes back around. Hey. Hey. Comes back around. Comes back around. What goes around comes back around. What goes around comes back around. What goes around comes back around. Comes back around. Comes back around. What goes around comes back around. Comes back around. Comes back around. Hey. What goes around comes back around. Hey.
And so after a fantastic day's rallying, let's take a look at the final results. Class 1 for our juniors, and Keelan Lancashire comes home in third place. Jake Miller takes second place. But it's a superb drive from young Rhys McElhinney to take the class win. Class 2, Liam Wilson takes third place. Ed Davis has a great run to second. But it's Aaron McMullen who takes the class win. On to Class 3, and Jerry Woods makes a trip north to take third. It's Graham Murphy in the Nova who takes second place. And Stephen Caldwell does enough over 5 stages to take the class win. On to Class 4, and Gerald Gibson's Mini takes third place. Danny Reid overcomes some car troubles to take second place. But it was Keelan Reid who had a storming run to take the Class 4 victory and 32nd overall. Class 5, and Liam McMullen's R2 208 takes third place. Shay Rogers takes second place after the retirement of Stephen Smith. And Pete Dornan takes a fantastic class win and 8th overall. Class 6, and Gavin Grant takes third place. Second place goes the way of Josh Bradley. But the 2 dropped stage times paid dividends for Aaron Beattie as he takes the class win. On to Class 7, and it's a brilliant 3rd place for the 2-litre Vauxhall Red Top Mini of Noel Strain. Ryan Hunter put in some fantastic stage times but has to settle for 2nd in class. And Duncan MacDonald makes the trip from the Isle of Skye worthwhile with a Class 7 victory. Class 9 and Conor Gillespie brings the big diesel BMW home in 3rd. Philip Greenlee should be happy enough to head to Spain now with a 2nd in class. And the new Millington is money well spent for Eugene Clark with a Class 9 victory. Class 10 and Jared Sharkey brings his unique Renault Clio home in 3rd. Thomas Scally is pipped at the post and misses out on class victory by 0.2 of a second to the Impreza of Gary Grant. And finally, Class 11 and our overall positions. Michael McCollum takes 3rd place. Daniel Doherty can't quite do enough to hold on and takes 2nd. And Aaron McLaughlin's late charge pays off with a victory by 14.7 seconds. What a fantastic day's rallying it was, and it didn't end there, as we then headed to Donegal Town to McCafferty's Bar for Quiva's Fight to Walk charity auction night, where the RSA's Entries for Life brought in a final figure of €10,250. In fact, the total amount of money raised on the night pushed the campaign over the finish line, meaning that Quiva and family will head to the States in April for life-changing surgery. The incredible rally community, coupled with the wonderful people from Donegal, really pulled together. And we'll leave it on that wonderful note, and until next time, hold her flat.